which industries, occupations, and activities will be most impacted by artificial intelligence. I'm Dr. Bill Connerly. I connect the dots between the economy and business. This is my third video about AI and the outlook for the economy, focusing on industries, occupations, tasks that will be impacted. First, I'm going to talk about the productivity potential gains for industries, occupations, and tasks, and then which of those sectors will actually take up the gains that can come from artificial intelligence. When we economists think about the economy, we often break it into industries: construction, manufacturing, financial services, government, and so forth. But sometimes we look at occupations: nurse, salesperson, bookkeeper, and each of those occupations can be broken down by tasks. So a carpenter cuts boards and nails them to make a house, but also will look at a bill of materials, does a cost estimate. Similarly, a nurse will do some things that might be aided by AI, such as evaluate how a patient is progressing, but other tasks like starting an IV, no, the AI is not going to do that. So the approach that has been taken many times is, let's start with tasks and identify which tasks will be affected by AI, and then which occupations do those tasks, and then which industries have a great many of those people who will be impacted by AI. This chart shows how many workers are likely to have at least 10% of their tasks impacted by AI. The data come from OpenAI, which is the creator of ChatGPT. And the way to look at it is 80%, according to their estimates, of workers will have at least 10% of their tasks impacted by AI. Affected by AI is their language. I'm not quite sure what that means, but it could mean some productivity help or just some interaction with that. And a minority of people, just 20%, not at all affected by AI. As I look at this chart, I scratch my head at the arithmetic. 80% of the people will have at least 10% of their tasks affected. What is the 80% of the 10% or the 10% of the 80%? It's that shaded area. So this is low-level impact. A high-level impact, the team of economists said, at least 50% of the tasks affected by AI, 19% of the people will have at least half of their work affected by AI, and that wedge looks like that. So when we bring these two together, there's going to be widespread impact to a small extent and a smaller group of people with very significant impact of AI. What does that mean in terms of the industries that are at work? The team looked at the industries and their occupations and their tasks and said large impacts will come in the financial services sector, wholesale trade, professional, scientific, and technical services, as well as management services. So there's a white-collar jobs, or maybe blue, but it's this nice blue with a button down. Smaller impacts would be in wood products. That's manufacturing lumber and plywood, mining, bars and restaurants, construction. I think the more useful way to think about this is, where will AI be most applied? Problems that have already been solved. So if the large language model like ChatGPT or Claude or Bard have seen it before a number of times, then the AI is ready to help. But if it's a unique situation, something brand new, you want something done that's never been done before, the AI will be less useful. Having a lot of data, standardized specifications will be good. Unique circumstances, not so useful. So this is a basic framework for identifying the industries, occupations, and tasks that can be helped, but it does not say which ones will actually take up the AI as a tool for productivity improvement. Which sectors will avoid using AI even if it can help their productivity? First of all, I think of high stakes sectors. Healthcare, life or death decisions. Are we going to trust AI? I think that sector will be slow. Now, some of you will say humans make mistakes, and the question is, does AI make fewer or more mistakes than humans? That's not actually how we're going to make the decision. We're going to be afraid of AI's mistakes more than we are afraid of human mistakes. So in a high stakes sector, I think slow will be the characteristic of AI take-up. Litigiousness applies to the big high stakes issues, but it can also apply to low stakes with a lot of people. So you get class action lawsuits. If your AI is impacting thousands of people, you may be at risk, even though it's a small impact for every one of those. Government will be slow to use AI. There'll be some exceptions, but in general, they'll be slow, as will the regulated industries, companies that have to go to the government and say, this is our plan for generating electricity. This is our plan for avoiding pollution. There will also be some union pushback against the use of AI. We're already seeing that with the Hollywood writers' strike. Unionization is highest in the government sector, and there are a lot of managerial and administrative jobs that could be made more productive, meaning less need for people in those sectors. Look for AI to come up in contract negotiations. But most of the rest of the economy that is unionized is not going to have a great deal of risk from AI. The final thing that I think about is culture. Some organizations have a culture of let's do things the way we've always done, but others are, hey, let's change it up. Let's do something different just to see what's different. And I think that's going to have a big impact on the implementation of AI. In summary, the sectors that will be slow to adopt AI: high stakes, litigious, government and regulated, unionized, and a culture of slow change. The fastest to adopt AI will be competitive industries, trying to get every little advantage they can where the stakes on a particular transaction are low. Entrepreneurial businesses willing to do something different. I think small business and solopreneurs will be among the fastest to adopt it, but some of them will be the slowest to adopt it. So that's a bimodal distribution, and just the general attitude about change. The next video in this series will talk about the job market impacts of productivity improvement. Let me give you a little teaser. In addition to job losses, which are widely expected, there may be job gains. Think about Henry Ford lowering the cost of cars. What happened after his productivity improvements in terms of the number of people working in the car industry? Ponder that while you wait for the next video. I'm Dr. Bill Connerly. I connect the dots between the economy and business. I put out a monthly newsletter in graphical format that also has links to all of my articles and videos. You can subscribe to that by just hitting this QR code, and you can take a look at the newsletter before you decide to sign up for it. Thanks for watching this. I'll catch you next time.